Welcome to the lecture series in computer science. We are seeing a series of lectures in the subject Python programming. In today's session, we will be seeing a topic on list, tuple, dictionary and set. As the contents of today's session are, we will be seeing about what a list is and what are the examples pertaining to the list. We will be seeing what a tuple is and the related examples, and then we will be seeing about what a dictionary is and its examples. Then we will be seeing about what a set is and its related examples. Then we will be discussing about the mutable data type and the immutable data type. First of all, we will be explaining about what is a mutable data type, what is an immutable data type. Then we will be seeing the differences between a mutable data type and an immutable data type. Now, as the first topic of the session is the list. What is a list? A list is an ordered group of sequences enclosed inside square brackets and separated by a symbol comma. Here in the list, it is a ordered group. My dear viewers, kindly make a note of it. It is an ordered group of sequences enclosed inside a square brackets and it is separated by a symbol comma. Now, if I am going to have like this, if I am going to say it as list equal to a empty square bracket, then it is said to be an empty list. I suppose, my dear viewers, if you had studied a subject called programming in C, wherein you would have studied about a topic called as array. Here in Python, list is similar to the arrays that you would have studied in that particular subject called programming in C, wherein here in Python programming it is called as a list, as simple as that. So, now in a list, when I am going to give it as, when I am going to give a empty square braces, it is called as an empty list. Then supposing if this list 1 and list 2 are all said to be the variable names, in this list 2 equal to open square braces sequence 1 comma give a space close the square braces. It is a list which has one element. The name of the element is called sequence 1. It has one sequence of one element. So, this list 2 is a variable, and my dear viewers, I suppose you might be knowing the coding standard of Python programming. It is always a better practice to give spaces between the operator and the operand and between the variables and the operators. So, I am giving the space between the variable and the operator, assignment operator. So, here if I could give a space, so equals, give a space, open braces, open square braces. My dear viewers, kindly make a note of it. As far as list is concerned, we will be dealing only with the square braces. So, open square braces sequence 1 comma close the square braces. And you could ask me a question, whether this comma is mandatory. As far as list is concerned, comma is not mandatory, whereas if you are going to put comma also, it is not an error. If you are not going to put comma also, it is not an error. With respect to list alone, kindly make a note of it, because this is said to be an important entry point of a question. In list, the comma, if you are going to have only one element, after that element if you are going to give a comma, it will work, there is no error. If you are not giving comma also, it will work as far as this particular list is concerned. For example, let us take the example of a list. Names is a variable name. Give a space equal to, give a space, open square braces, within quotes Ganesh, close the quotes comma, open quotes Ramji, close the quotes comma, open quotes Chitra, close the quotes comma, open quotes Hari, close the quotes, open quotes Guru, close the quotes and close the square braces. After Guru, if I am going to put comma also, it is not wrong, it will work. So, why have I enclosed these values within quotes, these Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru within quotes, is that as all these strings are meant to be of a string data type. Since it is a string, we have enclosed it within quotes. Now, next is, let us see an important topic. Lists are mutable. Mutable means lists can be modified or changed after it gets created. My dear viewers, that is the reason I said at the fag end of this session we will be seeing what are mutable data type, what are the immutable data types, and we will be seeing certain differences between mutable data type and immutable data type. So, kindly make a note of it. These lists, they are all mutable. That means the contents can be modified or changed after it is created. Then iterations are easier in the list with the help of for loop. It is again, I say, it is similar to your array concept that you have used in the programming in C. So, here let us see an example, discuss it with an example of about how iterations are easy in list when compared to the other languages, how it is easy with the help of for loop. Let us discuss in detail with an example. Then in list, the elements, it can be of different data type. What does it mean? In my previous example, I gave the names as Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari, Guru. Supposing if I am going to give the for this example S1, S1 is a variable name equal to, if I am going to give it as Ganesh 41 1979, you can put it within quotes, or I can give it as 1980 1982 40 comma Guru. What will happen? If I am going to put it in quotes, this 41 will be taken as a string. If I am not going to put it in quotes, this 1980 will be taken as an integer data type. So, this particular list which has a variable name S1, it supports multiple data types which has been enclosed within the square braces. Then, so that is the reason I have stated as in list the elements can be of different data type. Now let us see an example. We saw one example in the last slide. It is about the names. Names equal to Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari, Guru. So how many elements are there? There are totally 5 elements. Now I am printing it. Print contents of names, comma names. What will it get printed? It will be printing Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari, Guru. Now I am giving it as name of 2 equal to Visalam. Now I am printing the updated contents of names. What will it print? If it is of names of 2, which element will get replaced? Will Ramji get replaced or Chitra will get replaced? My dear viewers, only this element Chitra will get replaced. It is because the index value, the position value starts from 0. So when it started from 0, the 0th position has been occupied by the element called Ganesh. First position is occupied by the element called as Ramji. Second position is being occupied by the element called as Chitra. Third element is being occupied by the position called as Hari. Fourth element is being occupied by the position called as Guru. Now, if I am going to give it as names of 2, which means the element that is available in the second position is Chitra, it should get replaced with a name called as Visalam. Now what is the updated list? If I am going to print the updated contents of the names, it will be printing as Ganesh, Ramji. Instead of Chitra, it will be printing it as Visalam, Hari, and Guru. The remaining things remains unchanged. Only the change that has been made is, only this Chitra has been replaced with the name called as Visalam, and that is the reason we say it as lists are mutable, which means the contents, the elements or the contents present in the list are changeable. So, hence it is called as lists are mutable. Now, let us see an example of list using the for loop, because in my earlier slide I said the iteration and the traversal and the getting the contents from the list using a for loop is pretty easier. So, let us see an example of list using the for loop. Again, my variable name is names. Names is said to be a variable name. There is no, it is not any other thing. It is a variable name. Variable name is said to be names, give a space, equal to, give a space, Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari, Guru. The reason I am taking the same old example is that is so that you will become comfortable by working on it. That is the reason I have taken the same old example. The names as a variable name equal to, within the list the contents are or the elements are Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru. Now, the program is for, here you have declared the names, then for name and names. What does it mean? It is a variable name, this is a separate variable name, this is a separate variable name. This names belong to this particular variable which speaks about the list, whereas this name is a separate variable name. Now, print family person colon name. Here I have written the program as for name in names and I have pressed enter. The cursor, it got indented. How did it get indented? It got indented because in the previous line I have stated colon. If you are going to give colon and press an enter, what happens? This particular statement, whatever the statement may be, it will follow the instructions of the for loop. This was discussed in the earlier session. So, here names is the variable name equal to Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru. For is a what type of structure? It is a control structure. So, iterative for looping control structure, iterative control structure. So, as far as an iterative control structure is concerned, for name is a variable name, wherein in your C program you would have written something like for I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Similarly, instead of I am declaring the variable name as name in names. This name denotes this particular list. Names, put a colon. If you do not have colon, what will happen? When you press an enter, automatically the cursor will be coming just below the F of the for. When you have colon only, the statements whatever you give will work for this for loop. So, print family person colon, close the quotes, comma, name. I have not given names, I have given only name. It is because it is this name. Names was for the list, name is for the for loop. So, name. What will be the output? It will be printing family person colon, what is the family name? Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru. My dear viewers, did you notice this output? It did not print as you expected. You expected it to print it as family person Ganesh and give a space, family person Ramji, give a space, family person Chitra, give a space, family person Hari, give a space, family person Guru, but it did not print like that. It printed line by line. Why? Because the default delimiter in a print statement is a new line. The default delimiter of a print statement is a new line. Supposing if I wanted it to get printed on the same line with some spaces, how should I do? How will it get printed? Here I am supposed to print it as print family person close the quotes comma name comma end equal to double quotes, give a space, double quotes and then close the braces. When you do like this, what will happen? Whatever output you want will get printed on a single line with spaces. The default delimiter for a print built-in function, print is a built-in function, for a print built-in function is new line. If you want to change it to tab, or if you want to change it to space, or if you want to change it to hyphen or full stop dot or comma or whatever way you wanted it to get printed, you are supposed to give a keyword called end equal to quotes, give a space, quotes. If I am going to give a space, it will take space. If I am going to give comma, it will be printing it as family person Ganesh, comma, family person Ramji, comma, family person Chitra, comma, family person Hari, comma, family person Guru, comma. So likewise it will be printing. So this is the example of list using for loop. Only in Python language, see, you are able to get all the contents within a single line. The coding is pretty simple. That is the reason during my initial sessions I would have said coding in Python is 10 times smaller than coding with C or C++, 3 to 5 times smaller than coding with a programming language called Java. So the coding in Python is much simpler and much crisp and much easily, it is highly understandable, easily understandable. So this is the example of list using the for loop. Now let us see one other example of list. Again I take this example as names, open square braces, Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru for S1 in names, because in last slide I gave the name as variable name as name. Here I have given the variable name as S1, print S1. Now I want to print the range, print the length. So for S1 in range, what is the value? Lower limit and comma length of names. Length of names in the sense, my dear viewers, when you had seen a session on string data type, there the length of a particular string would have fetched you a result. For example, if I am going to give it as text equal to Ganesh, their length of text will be 6, because the character count of Ganesh is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas here in this particular example, the answer is different. It is not the character count of each and every word or every string, each and every letter of a string. It is the count of the list. It is the count of the elements present in a list. It is the count of the contents present in the list. So my dear viewers, kindly make a note of it. If it is of a generic string, if I am going to give length of some text, it gives you the length of that particular text. Say for example, within the text, if I have given it as Ganesh, it will give you the length of that Ganesh. Wherein here, if I am going to give it as length of names, it will be printing it as the contents available, the positions available. What is the position? the index value, it starts from the position 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Supposing if I want to traverse in the reverse manner, how do I do it? What is the position? In the reverse manner, the index value starts from -1. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So this is how the index value is. By default, the index value starts from the starting. Since it has been traversed from left to right, if you want to traverse from left to right, the index value starts at 0. If you want to traverse from right to left, the index value starts from -1. So if I am going to give for S1 in range within open braces 0, comma, length of names, when I print S1, now it will be printing 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, which was listed there. Now if I want to print, I said from the right hand side, if you want to print it as it has the index value as -1. In that case, what will happen is, both the ways when you traverse from the left to right, if you traverse, it is in the positive manner 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. From right to left, if you traverse, it is in the negative manner -1, -2, -3, -4. But here I have specified the range as both as negative as well as positive. So what will happen? If I am going to give it as for S1 in range -1, 2, what will happen? Now you might be knowing the upper limit will not get printed. So if I am going to give print names of S1, and my dear viewers, kindly make a note of it, here this S1 has been put in a square braces, whereas names has been embedded within a curly braces. Why have I put S1 within square braces is that it is because it is a list. Why have I given curly braces? Why have I embedded names under curly braces is that it belongs to the print function. So kindly make a note of those braces. So here print names of S1. What will happen? So since my starting position is said to be -1, Guru will be printed, and then since my ending position is said to be 2, here the 0th position is Ganesh, first position is Ramji. So Guru, Ganesh and Ramji will get printed. Hope you can understand. You kindly work it out. This is an example for list. Next, we will move on to the second topic, tuple. What is a tuple? Tuple are an ordered group of sequences separated by a symbol, comma, and it is enclosed within a parenthesis. Parenthesis is nothing but it is enclosed within a curly braces. My dear viewers, as far as the previous data structure list is concerned, it was enclosed within square braces, whereas in the case of tuples, it is enclosed within curly braces. Tuples are immutable. My dear viewers, in the previous slide, as far as the list is concerned, we saw lists are mutable, which means the contents of the lists are modifiable, changeable, editable, whereas in the case of tuples, tuples are immutable, which means the elements cannot be changed. If you try to change, you will encounter an error. This is the frequent error that people might encounter. Like, people might be confident enough in coding, but if you could change a single bracket from a square braces to a curly braces, your entire programming gets changed, it gets collapsed. You encounter an error. So you need to be doubly cautious in using the braces, in using the brackets as far as the data structures are concerned. So, as far as the list is concerned, we have used square braces, and as far as the tuples are concerned, we have used curly braces. And now, and as far as the list is concerned, it is mutable, it is changeable, modifiable. As far as tuples are concerned, it is immutable, that is, the contents cannot be changed. Once created is created, you cannot change anything. So, let us see the syntax of a tuple. Tup1 is said to be a variable name. Give a space, give equal to, give a space, open braces, close braces, which means it is a curly braces. It denotes empty tuple. Now, these are all something like commands, just for an understanding I have given. Open braces, close braces. Then, second example, tup2 is a variable name equal to gan. Give it in quotes, it is because it is a string data type, comma, close it, close the curly braces. What happens? Here, my dear viewers, kindly make a note of it. This comma is highly mandatory as far as tuples are concerned. If you are not going to give comma, and supposing if you are going to have a single content, single element within the tuple, and if a comma is not given, then this particular variable, this particular content, it will not be considered as a tuple at all, wherein it will be considered as a string, it will be considered as a string assignment. Hence, my dear viewers, it is a very important examination point of a question. As far as tuples are concerned, you are supposed to give curly braces and you are supposed to give comma if it is of a single element. If it is of multiple elements, no issues. If it is of a single element, you are supposed to give comma. So, comma is mandatory. If it is not given, such a tuple, it will not be considered as a tuple and it will be considered as a string assignment. Now, let us see an example of tuple again. Names equal to Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru, wherein, my dear viewers, hope you would have noted this point. In the previous slide, when we saw about list, the braces was a square bracket, wherein here it is curly bracket, it is parenthesis. So, names equal to Ganesh, Ramji, Chitra, Hari and Guru are the strings. I am trying to print names of 2. What will it happen? What will it print? It will be printing Chitra will get printed. Why? Anywhere and everywhere, even if it is list or tuple or dictionary or set or whatever it is, the starting index value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what is it there within the second position? Only Chitra was there. So, print names of 2, Chitra will get printed. Now, I am trying to replace Chitra with Visalam. Names of 2 equal to Visalam. Print, or now you try to print names of 2. What will happen? You will encounter an error because tuples are immutable. Once if a list is created, tuples are immutable. So, when you try to replace anything, you will encounter an error. Now, print type of names. When you are going to give it as type of names, what will be the result? You will be getting the result as class tuple. Supposing if I have given it as like this within square bracket, and if I am going to give print type of names, I will be getting the class as list. So, that is the difference. So, kindly make a note of it. Let us summarize this session. We saw about what a list is, and we saw about certain examples of list. We saw about what a tuple is, and we saw about certain examples of tuples, and we saw the basic difference between a list and a tuple, because this concept is the most important concept as far as Python programming is concerned. If you are not understanding about list, tuple, dictionary and set, you will not be in a position to code properly. So, that is the reason it has been dealt in detail. You would have been understood about the difference between list and tuple. Thank you.